and welcome to ReedPop's Metaverse event, where we're breaking the fourth wall to bring to you comic book convention entertainment to the comfort of your home. I am Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics, and it is my extreme pleasure to bring to you this spotlight on Mr. J. August Richards. Now, but before we get started, I want to make sure you, the fans, are getting the most out of this experience and the many others happening this weekend by scooping up exclusive virtual meet and greets, autographs, and photo ops. Visit findthemetaverse.com and add the spoils of this virtual event to your collection. So without any further ado, let's bring forth the man that has brought us all together, Mr. J. August Richards. Hello, how are you today?
What up? How you doing?
Good to see you, Victor. Fantastic. Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
What's going on?
Okay, 2020 is crazy. How are you surviving? Are you getting through it okay? Safe, sane, soundly? How are you?
Yeah, well, thanks for asking. It's been a crazy year, obviously. I am having my little COVID chic look going on right now.
It looks good, though.
Thank you so much. I've taken great pleasure in not grooming for these past few months. But yeah, man, it's been intense. I mean, I've really been looking back on the year and everything that has happened, and I mean, for me, it's been transformational in a good way and a bad way. With the protests and everything that have been going on, I found a lot of opportunities for service and for, helping to evolve lifetime struggles and feel really like I'm making a difference in issues that are really important to me and have always been. And, it's really interesting watching the world transform around these issues. It's a powerful time. It's a scary time. It's a frustrating time.
Right.
It's an eye-opening time. Before 2020 happened, a lot of the spiritual folks were saying 2020 is the year of perfect vision. And I think they were right.
Yes. Oh my goodness, you are 100% correct on that one. And okay, let's make this super conversational, because I mean, I'm a fan of your work. You've been in the game, not to sound or make it sound like you're old or anything, but you've been in the game for a minute. You know what I mean? But this is a spotlight about you, not just the work that you've been a part of, but who you are as a person. And like you said, the protests that have been going on become very revelational to who we are as people. Where you are, how was the response to the outcry, the protest itself? How was that for you?
Intense, because for the first few days of it, I felt this tremendous sense of guilt because I wanted to get out in the streets, but I was observing the stay-at-home orders,
right?
And it created this real tear in me, this real struggle. And I wanted, like I said, I wanted to be out there. So I had a moment with myself where I said, you know what, the people in the 60s who marched risked their lives too. So you should do the same thing. And I'm not judging or telling anybody else what they should have done and shouldn't do. But for me, that was the decision I made. So I got out in the streets just because I had to. And I'm glad that I did, but I also was reminded that is only one form of protest and that there are several others that I am a part of and have been a part of and always will be a part of. But I just had to touch that energy for myself, if you will. So, Los Angeles was deep, and, we're still working, you know what I mean? The work is not over just because it's not the first story on the news anymore. The work continues, the education continues.
Right.
So yeah, that's what it was like.
That's very well said. And definitely the work is not over because the energy hasn't changed enough for us to feel comfortable. I do appreciate your perspective, because it does kind of invoke the actual feeling of being torn with the world that you're a part of. You're a person, you have thoughts, you have ideas, but at the same time, you're also a professional, and there's other things that you have to balance. And that's, part of the dichotomy of being a Black man in America. And how has that position affected your career up to this point?
Well, that position is my career. There's no separation for me politically and artistically. From the very beginning of my career, before I, pardon the expression had a pot to piss in, I was turning down roles in it when I was not in a position to be doing so, because I've been very clear about what I want my work to be and what I want it to represent. And as I've said before, I feel like my work is a conversation about the humanity and the diversity of Black men. That's what everything I've ever done has been about. And in a way, from The Cosby Show to Council of Dads, it could almost be the story of one life in a way. But at the same time, I played a lot of different characters with a lot of different ideologies and social class and histories and background and, you know, all of these different things. So I'm just trying to get the world to see us as we are.
Thank you. Like just flat out, that is the, you know, beginning and end. Thank you for that, because there is that sense of the monolithic Black male presence, perspective that we are all this one thing, and that is far from the truth. Absolutely far from the truth.
Exactly.
So in terms of your upbringing, what was it that made you know that being in terms of parts of entertainment was where you needed to be you?
Well, two things. Just sitting in front of a television for the first time. My mother says I tried to crawl inside of it. And I did. I mean, I was so clear once I sat in front of a television that was what I wanted to do with my life. And I have a very dear uncle who used to always say to me, how do you know what it is that you want to do? Because he went his entire life never knowing what he wanted to do. And I was like, I don't know how to tell you that. I don't know. I have no idea. But before I even knew what an actor was, I was saying to my mother, like, if we saw a movie about firefighters, I told her I wanted to be a firefighter. If we saw a movie about cops, I'd say I want to be a cop. If we saw a movie about dancers, I'd say I want to be a dancer, because I didn't know how to say that I wanted to be an actor. I just said I wanted to be there. And I thought that that's how you got there. So yeah, there was really no other choices for me, except I thought maybe at one point I wanted to be an inventor. But, you know, that's not entirely true. I mean, I consider myself a storyteller. And when it came time to go to college, I knew I was going to go to USC. I just didn't know if I was going to be a film major or a theater major. And at the last minute, I decided, okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to focus on acting until you're 40. And then from 40 on, you're going to focus on writing and directing. And that's what I'm doing. But I will always be an actor. I like Sidney Pollack, you know, I will always act. You know, I will always be an actor for hire, even when I'm creating and directing and writing projects.
Oh my God, I love that. Being a storyteller is one of the greatest gifts that we can give to humanity, because it's not just a matter of the works that you do, but the stories that you can inspire in other people. And obviously you just had a story that you revealed about yourself that is purely inspirational. I got to know, from a personal standpoint, for you to have existed in this business for so long without revealing this about yourself, why now?
Why now? It was a lot about, and sidebar, I want to say something about that storyteller position.
Yes.
You know, in the African tradition, there is a position called the griot.
Griot, yeah, baby.
Yes, and it's a sacred position, you know?
Yes.
And I feel connected to that. And it's interesting because the project that I'm writing now is about that in a way. To answer your question, why now? Everything in my life felt like it was the perfect time, that it was the right time. It was, you know, a lot motivated by the show that I was doing, which was Council of Dads.
It's a great show.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a great show.
Well,
yeah, exactly. But that's a whole nother. I'm sorry, I keep looking up. I should be looking right at this.
That's all right. That's all right. No, you're in your zone. We're with you.
I'm in my zone. But yes, so when I got the role, which, you know, I played gay characters in the past, but this character was asking me for something more, because he was the kind of gay man that I am. And so I felt like it was necessary for me to bring that part of myself to the role and to the character. And I did not want to leave myself in the uncomfortable position of being on set and not owning it and not sharing it with my cast members and producers and directors and writers in the way that I can easily with other roles. But with this one, the way that I could easily with other roles, not easily, but the way that I could, I wouldn't be able to do it with this role. And I knew that if I wanted to give, if I was going to give the performance that I needed to give, that was necessary. And so that's why I did it, you know, with the cast and crew. And then the reason I did it publicly was because I felt like it was a great opportunity to further the very work that I just told you that I'm here to do, which is have a conversation about the humanity and the diversity of Black men. So I would be doing myself a disservice and the audience and other Black gay men, other gay men, other LGBT people, I would be doing us all a disservice by not speaking about it freely, you know, in the way that I do in my everyday life. So it just felt like the right time.
Oh my God, I appreciate you so much for that, because I think it also allows for anyone on the outside to confront their biases by saying, you know, well, I don't associate with such and such person, such person. But then here we have, you know, a fandom built around a love of you and your work. Can you maintain that same sort of prejudice now that somebody that you know and love, you know, it was such a great hammer. And in light of all the things that have happened in 2020, I thought it was a perfect step. And it was very brave. It was awesome. And it fits within what our new understanding of what being a celebrity is all about. It's not the mystery, it is the access. And you gave it, you know, you gave us that. And I appreciate that.
Man, I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. I mean, that really hits my spirit in a beautiful way. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, that's super real. Okay, so let's talk about some of the work that you've done. We're talking award-winning, daytime Emmy award-winning. Let's be specific.
Nominated. Well, the show won, but yes.
Yeah, but no, that's still, I mean, definitely still worth the accolade, because so what we're talking about is Giants. For those of you that are watching, y'all need to watch this show. Okay, this is again one of those things that is about the non-monolithic view of Black people operating in today's world, and that's such a huge thing. How did you get involved in this?
Yeah, my good buddy James Bland. He's an actor, moved out to LA. We met when he first got out here to LA. He showed me a feature film that he directed, produced, and wrote while he was at FAMU. And I watched it. I said, oh my God, we're all gonna be working for you one day. I saw the talent immediately. And you know, we've just been a part of each other's lives for a really long time. He was doing the usual steps of being an actor, and he got tired of waiting. So he created this show, Giants. In the very first season, he wrote every episode and directed most of the episodes. And he would send me scripts. I mean, he would give me the scripts and ask me to watch cuts. And I just contributed, you know, I just helped him. You know, he shot here at the house. And so by the end, he gave me a consulting producer credit. I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's cool. Thank you. And then it came out, it made some waves, people were really feeling it. And then he managed to get a larger budget for season 2. So he put together a writer's room and hired different directors to direct every episode. So he hired me as a writer. So he's the first person to ever hire me as a writer, to pay me to be a writer. And he hired me as a director as well. And then I ended up playing a part in it as well, and then got nominated for 3 daytime Emmys for writing, directing, and acting, which was awesome. So, and the show got 11 nominations, 1, 2. So it WONTWO, it won 2. So yeah, so it's just true. It was crazy to me that, you know, my first Emmy nominations, hopefully my first of more, came as a result of just being of service to a friend, you know, and that's how that all came about.
That is beautiful. Again, this speaks to the spirit and the energy that you're projecting of another thing that needs to be said about Black people, that we can in fact work together and everybody win. That is 100% a thing that needs to be addressed, stated, and worked, you know, to promote all the time. And this is a great example of that.
That's funny, because I don't, I almost said I'm not doing it intentionally, but I am doing it intentionally. Listen, I make myself available to every Black man, really every person, but you know, obviously I have a affinity and I feel a responsibility to other Black men in Hollywood. And I make myself super available to anyone to talk to them about their money, their career, the work, whatever. So that's just, you know, I guess it is an offshoot of the work that I'm telling you about. But yeah, so yeah, I guess to echo the point you're making, yeah, I guess that's exactly what happened. But it didn't feel like work. It just felt like a friend. It felt like helping somebody tell their story. Right. And you know, as a result, he turned around and helped me tell mine. He produced a short film that I did called The Hypnotist. I wrote it. He read it and he said, he called me immediately after and said, I'm just calling to say that I love this piece, and whatever you need me to do to make it happen, I'm here to do. So we're there for one another. Of course. And other people have done it for me. Mike Beach, Eric LaSalle, Don Cheadle, Ren Brown, Isaiah Washington. All of these Black men who were here before me all mentored me, whether they knew it or not. Of course. I had conversations with each of them that were important to me moving forward. So I just try to return the favor.
Oh my God, that pay it forward mentality is so necessary to building the future that we all want, you know, for our children, for our friends, everybody. So that's super important. Okay, so getting into more of the geeky spectrum of things.
Let's geek it out.
Were you? Geeky. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I see you with the Spidey going on. Okay, so were you a geek growing up? Was that a part of your mantra? Is that?
So my office is a little bare right now because I'm remodeling it, and it might be a little echoey, but I was about to reach in this closet and grab you some of my comic books from my
That's childhood. What I'm talking about.
But now they're in the garage where all comic books ultimately end up, unfortunately. Maybe not with everybody, but super mega geek. I was a huge comic book fan, an incredible comic book fan. You know, it's interesting what you were talking about the world of sci-fi and of conventions and stuff. You know, I find it to be a very diverse environment, and the world of comic books and imagination just draws people in, you know, especially if you feel somewhat like a misfit in your life. So I think that that's what drew me to the comic book world, the fact of like people who seemingly don't fit in becoming heroes. And that theme, I think, is just one that's incredible and that so many people can connect to.
That's powerful. I definitely part of the reason why I think so many of us get into comic books. For you to actually have become a superhero, that's got to be amazing. Kind of a full circle kind of moment. Who was one of your favorite characters? I mean, obviously playing Deathlok, people would assume Deathlok was a favorite, but was he? Who
this guy right here.
Okay.
Is this the right shirt? Oh yeah, is this 252?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
My nieces and nephews bought this for me for Christmas one year.
Nice.
And this was like, I just remember the buzz and the excitement around this issue. Right. So I love this T-shirt and I love this issue because it reminds me of the childhood wonder and like excitement I had about storytelling. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I love this T-shirt and I wear it a lot because it reminds me of that. And you know, he got his new costume.
Of course.
You know, so yeah.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Do you have any specific plans to return to the world of superheroes with any of your work, whether that's writing, directing, acting, any of it?
Yes.
Okay. We're just gonna keep it like that. Yeah. Because there's certain things you can say, certain things you can't say. I understand that. I totally understand that. So when it comes to we'll say the angel verse of things, the Buffy verse, celebrated not too long ago, 20th anniversary. That's got to be something that you're proud of, to see how well that has stood up through the years.
I'm so proud of that show. I really am. Proud of the character, proud of the people that I worked with, proud of the people that I worked for. You know, Joss specifically has been such a champion of mine, friend of mine, positive influence in my life. We've maintained a really cool relationship over these years. And you know, he's a great storyteller, storyteller,
Of
and
course.
yeah. So the friends that I've made being a part of that show are people that will always be a part of my life. You know, the cast, you know, whom obviously I love, and we did New York Comic Con together
Right.
for the 20th anniversary. And we love being together. You know, I've been to their weddings. They'll always be a part of my life.
Oh my God, that's so fantastic to know that the friendship that we see and we project, you know, in the work that you're, you know, putting out there isn't just acting. It's not just the job. That's heartwarming, truly.
No, and I remember being on Angel thinking, you know, man, I got to really enjoy this because this could be the best job I ever had in my life because
Wow.
every episode was different. It was almost like a different genre. It was like a different challenge. Every season, there was a day when I was afraid to go to work because I was being asked to do something that was scary for me. And that's what you know, live for as a human being, as an artist, as an actor.
That's fantastic. Okay, so we're wrapping up on time, so I got to know a couple quick hits.
Wow,
What are
that
some
was
of the
fast.
things I know, right? Like it's what happens. What sort of things are you enjoying these days, reading wise, watching wise? What's on your fandom list?
Oh, I always love this question because I love art so much and I love, you know. So, TV wise, I'm loving the show I May Destroy You on HBO.
Oh, good
Loving
one.
that. Loving P Valley on Stars. I have a friend on that show who's doing a killer job, Nico Anon. And reading wise, I'm reading all summer long. I've been reading Ani DeFranco's autobiography. I think she wrote it, yeah. And what else am I loving? I'm loving Brandy's new album that just came out. That's on
Yes.
repeat. What else? Big Brother just started tonight, so I'm really excited about that. I cannot wait for Tenet. You know, of everything that's going on with this quarantine right now, and our world's changing, you know what I really miss? I really miss going to the movies.
Yes. Yes.
I really miss that.
That's an experience. It's funny. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I was telling, I was telling like friends and family, I was like, you know, when we went to the theater and we saw Endgame and we had that moment, it's like, she'll never get that. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, she won't understand that vibe in the room where, you know, spoilers, Cap gets the hammer. She won't understand that. So you're absolutely right. Being in the theater, that
and
fan
sitting
experience.
down in a restaurant. I haven't done that since all this started either.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to do those two things. And you know, I can't wait to go to a con again. I haven't been to a con in forever. Absolutely. And I really miss that too. You know, it's so funny how you almost take things for granted a little bit. And when they're taken from you, you understand how important and valuable and cool those things are. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I'm into right now. I feel like I'm missing 12 things, but
no, that's okay. That's okay. Well, this is a great opportunity for those fans that you're not seeing at conventions live. What's one more thing that you want to share with them before we head on out of here?
Yo, wear a mask.
Tell it. Let them know.
Wear our masks, man.
That's
wear
so
our
real.
Masks. Let's contribute. You know, let's be a community. Let's take care of each other. All that conspiracy stuff, you know, who cares? Like, what do you lose by wearing a mask? Wear a mask, man. Stop tripping. Yo, this is taking too long.
Ooh, not all heroes wear capes, but all heroes are definitely wearing masks these days. That's 100% the truth. Jay, thank you so very much for your time, your energy, everything, your positivity. It's been fantastic. I got to thank our host, ReedPop, for bringing us together. This has been fantastic. Again, make sure you visit findthemetaverse.com for exclusives. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics, saying thank you to all of you fans for watching. J. August Richards, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. It was so great talking to you. It was a real
absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And to everybody out there, love y'all. Be good. Stay safe.
Peace.